Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, I'm pretty excited for this one. This is my state, Minnesota. And we're going to kind of take a look at Minnesota because it was kind of interesting and very comparable to the Michigan results when it came to the said, as you know, uncommitted vote. So, we're going to take a look at the state of Minnesota in, as you know, the Democratic primary, and you'll see, yes, Joe Biden pretty much underperformed, but the 70.6% of the popular vote. He did not do well in the state of Minnesota. We've covered states where Biden has won over, as you know, 80%, 90%, like Alabama. We have Arkansas, 88%. And then we've covered, as you know, Massachusetts, 81%, Maine, 89%. So we've covered a lot of states. Now we have Joe Biden at 70.6%. And this is a poor turnout, as you should know. Only 171,000 people voted for him. And I would say that was kind of a mix of everywhere. You'll see Joe Biden enjoyed better performance in more rural areas, which is kind of weird. His best county was in Red Lake County, and Red Lake County was a former Democrat stronghold at the time and is now reliably Republican with over by voting over 60% of the popular vote. So this county, people like to think it's Native American. It's not. I think it used to be Native American, but now it's more white, Caucasian, rural type of farmer type of community over here. As you should know, Uncommitted, you should know, performed its best in, as you know, the Twin Cities, of course, because of the Somali population, especially in Hennepin and Ramsey counties. Even Anoka counties are very popular over there. Once again, you should know, I've mentioned it many times, Minnesota is the number one state with the most Somalis than any other state in the United States. It is up by 3 percentage points. That is a huge number when it comes to, as you know, the amount when it comes to a diverse group. But yes, they're all, as you know, in the Minneapolis St. Paul metropolitan area. That's the hub for the Somali population. I was not aware that Rice County had a Somali population. We can look that up though. Rice County. So let's see. I mean, they do have two big cities, Northfield and Faribault. So that is probably a good, legitimate reason there. I do know that, as you should know, there is a good population. I know that there are Somali population over there, as you should know. There is a decisive and good Somali population in the said uh in the county. And then again, the county's not really big. It's just 67,000. It's the smallest county by population. It's voted for Trump twice, although it swings, it mostly votes for Democratic in state elections. But yeah, it's mainly because of Faribault and Northfield that this county has been a more of a Democrat reliable hold and sometimes a Republican hold depending on the election year. So yeah, this is the once again shocking election of 20, as you know, the shocking election of the Democratic primary. Uncommitted getting 11, as you know, delegates, and 18.9% of the popular vote. That is really bad. Well, let's give it to Joe Biden. He did carry counties this time. He ended up flipping a whole bunch. I mean, not a whole bunch, but he ended up flipping Kitson, Marshall, Beltrami, Lake of the Woods. Once again, Red Lake County is probably the county that voted against them the most, and he won it, and it was the best county he did in. We have, I'm blundering here, but this is supposed to be Grant County, I think. Grant County, that is Stevens County, Traverse County, and Blue Earth and Cook counties. He managed to flip all those counties in, you said, election. He almost won. I don't know. It was, I think I don't know if he carried Monoman. I doubt he did, but I think Sanders carried Monoman. Yeah, there are some counties that were carried by Klobuchar, as you can see, but going forward, oh yeah, and she had withdrew. That's the funny part, and they still voted for her anyway. That's kind of funny, if you ask me. So yeah, that's the Democrat primary. Let's take a look at the Republican primaries. Just as I expected, Donald Trump would win Minnesota, because as you should know, Minnesota has a pretty good Trump population in the Republican Party. Yes, we kind of nominate some anti Trump candidates here and there, but most of all, our population, especially in the rural country, we tend to grip more onto Donald Trump over here. When it comes to Hennepin County and Ramsey County, in western Hennepin County, people like Trump, but it's more in Minneapolis, Edina, and St. Louis Park, that those suburbs right by Minneapolis that are like, maybe Trump's not the best idea. And they ended up going to Nikki Haley, by the way. I managed to find that out. Bloomington was carried by Trump. Minneapolis was carried by Haley, of course. But yes, mainly because I would tell you, Bloomington, once again, I would say it's not as woke and liberal as the suburban cities smack by Minneapolis. I will tell you, because those cities vote Democrat by 70%, Bloomington like 62%. It's liberal, it's woke, but I will tell you, it it's more, I would tell you, it's more flexible, and they do have a good Trump population, not a neocon population. I will tell you, they kind of witnessed once again the tragedy of leftism in Minneapolis, and they're like, we got to get out of here, right? And I would tell you, part of that is probably the George Floyd riots, that they're more going for Trump. So that is good here. Trump performed his best in the counties in the darker blue. That again, they voted for him by over 80%. I voted in this election, the first presidential primary. I voted in this election proudly for Donald J. Trump. In Carver County, it was sadly, I would say, I think we could have done more. It was like in the 50 percentage points. But yeah, here is the, as you know, the districts. Nikki Haley won, as you know, the 5th district. That consists of Minneapolis and the neighboring suburbs like Edina, St. Louis Park, Golden Valley. But yeah, also some parts of Anoka County. But yes, Nikki Haley decisively carried the counties. But yes, you'll see, luckily, we have the 6th district going for Trump by 60, 70%. The 2nd district is having a hard time. And then Haley almost won the 3rd and 4th districts. And here's the legislative election. And yeah, you'll see Haley definitely performed her best. She definitely performed best in the metro. But going back, I did predict that Cook County would go for Nikki Haley. I was wrong. Ultimately, I underestimated the Trump population there. She did get a lot of votes. Trump did get down to 50%, 56%. But once again, no one lives in Cook County, and it's reliably Democrat for some reason because of the coasts. So Democrats, I don't know if there's a good neocon population, because this Cook County used to be a more of a neocon, but ultimately we found out basically Nikki Haley's best win was in Ramsey County, the most liberalist county in the state of Minnesota, believe it or not, just by a point. Then Hennepin County. Hennepin County, she did do well too, but unlike Ramsey, Hennepin County does have some strongholds for the Republicans, like Western Hennepin County is reliably, well, I wouldn't say reliably, but it does have a lot of MAGA voting Republicans over there. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below, and ultimately I'll see you guys in the next political episode.